When did someone's condescending attitude toward you backfire spectacularly? I'm 31, and my parents still introduce me as their daughter who's trying to figure things out whenever they meet someone new. They'll literally pull people aside and whisper that I'm working through some problems, and to please be nice if I mention my little computer job. Being the only one without obvious success immediately after high school meant constant lectures about finding a real career. My brother runs his own construction company, and my sister manages dental offices, but somehow my job downtown makes me the family failure who needs help finding her way. My mother still sends me links to cashier jobs because at least grocery stores have good benefits, and you could become a manager someday. My father's retirement party last month turned into my personal nightmare when the entire family showed up at his golf club. During drinks, my aunt grabbed a kid's menu from the hostess and brought it to me. "Here, sweetie, this one has pictures so it's easier to understand," she said loud enough for everyone to hear. "Your cousin just got a big promotion and she's younger than you, but don't worry, some people are just late bloomers." I tried mentioning that I'd been doing well at work lately, but she patted my head like I was a dog. "Sure you are, honey, but typing on computers isn't really a career, is it?" The dinner got worse when they put me at what they call the kids' overflow table, even though the actual children were at a different table. My dad's golf friends kept walking by offering to help me get a real job at their companies, starting in the mailroom. My mother gave a toast about her successful children, and when she got to me, she said, "Our youngest is still finding herself, but at least she shows up to her little job every day, and we're very proud of her for trying." My brother actually started clapping slowly for me like I was a toddler taking first steps, and other relatives joined in. Then my nephew rushed over looking stressed about his phone. He'd just started working at a big tech company 6 months ago, and my parents wouldn't shut up about his amazing new job. "What's wrong?" I asked, seeing him panic scrolling through emails. "My boss is freaking out," he said, staring at his screen. "She needs this huge presentation fixed by Monday, and I have no idea what she wants." My sister rushed over and hugged him. "Don't worry about work tonight, honey. You're doing so well at your important job," she said, then looked at me with pity. "Maybe you could learn something from him about having a real career instead of whatever it is you do all day." That's when his phone rang and he put it on speaker without thinking. "Hello," he said in his scared work voice. Everyone at the table heard a woman's voice come through the phone perfectly clear. "Listen, I need you to stop freaking out about the presentation. Mrs. Mitchell already looked at it yesterday and approved everything. The client loved it. She said just add those numbers she emailed you and you're done." The entire table went dead silent. My nephew turned white as he slowly looked from his phone to me sitting there with my kid's menu. My sister's mouth dropped open like a fish. "Wait, Mrs. Mitchell?" my mother said, putting down her wine glass. That's her," my nephew said, barely breathing while pointing at me. "She's Mrs. Mitchell. She's the head of our entire department." My sister started stuttering. "But that's impossible. She just does basic computer stuff. She's not." "I run the engineering department," I said, taking a sip of water while they all stared. "I'm in charge of 400 people, including your son." The phone was still on speaker when the assistant continued. "Also, Mrs. Mitchell wanted me to remind you that the CEO needs an update about Monday's meeting if you can text her back tonight." My cousin, who'd been bragging about her new coding job, suddenly went pale. "Oh my god, you're the Mitchell who hired me?" I nodded calmly. "I've hired 4 family members over the past 2 years, actually. You never knew because none of you ever asked what my married name was." My aunt looked like she might faint. "But they said they got those jobs on their own. They interviewed well," I said, "but I had to personally pull their applications out of the trash. The computer system had already rejected all of them." My mother's voice shook. "Why didn't you ever tell us what you really did?" "I tried every single time," I said, standing up. "But whenever I talked about my job, you all said I was playing with computers and needed to find real work." I picked up the kids' menu and handed it to my aunt. "That contract your husband wanted so badly last year? I'm the one who said no. His presentation was a mess." I headed for the door.